This beefy ramen noodle bowl sounds complicated. We're making it simple. Hi, Chef Dagan here in the Beef What's for Dinner Culinary Center, funded by the Beef Checkoff. Let's get started. Today's beef cut is top sirloin, juicy, lean, tender. Love this one. We're gonna go ahead and slice this into strips. A little trick to make the slice a little bit easier is to partially freeze it for a few minutes. This recipe is pretty great for leftover beef also. Any kind of beef we use, we want to make sure we're cutting against the grain here. As you can see, this beef is really lean, tender. We got about a pound of it here. All right, our ramen packets come with some seasoning. We have it divided. We're gonna use some for the meat and some for the broth. Okay, we're just gonna season up this meat nicely with some of the ramen seasoning packet here and some black pepper. Okay, we're gonna toss that all so it gets nice and seasoned. Okay, we got our wok nice and hot. We're gonna use a little bit of vegetable oil to sear this meat. It's nice and hot. We have our stand here that helps the heat concentrate a little bit, and it helps keep the wok nice and stable. This would also work with a cast iron pan or woks that have a nice solid base. We want to make sure and do this in small batches so we get that nice caramelization. Don't overcrowd the pan. Make sure you get a nice amount of space in between each piece of meat, so we can get that beautiful umami flavor and make sure the meat cooks nice and evenly, okay? We're gonna cook these maybe 2 or 3 minutes on each side. And we just wanna cook them in small batches because we're gonna cook these other vegetables along with it. So don't rush it. If the meat's sticking to the bottom of the pan, it can go a little bit longer. When it's nice and seared, it'll release naturally. We have one side nice and caramelized. We're gonna give them a nice little flip. Let's cook these about medium rare because we're gonna cook them again later when we put them in the broth. And then we're just gonna reserve this and we'll start another batch, okay? We got some ginger, fresh ginger. We got some garlic. We got a lot going on in there. Okay, then we have our onions. And the aroma is getting great because we have the caramelization on the pan from all the meat we seared. We're just gonna sweat these out a little bit. Try to get some of those little bits off the bottom of the pan. Let that cook for just a little bit. So we get those onions and garlic and ginger nice and tender. And then an option here with the recipe is a little bit of miso paste. I like to just add this and we're just gonna kind of cook it with the onions and garlic. Just helps spread out in the recipe a little bit better, helps it taste a little bit sweeter as it gets a little bit caramelization. So that's looking good. I'm gonna add a little bit of Fresno chilies in here too, just because I like things a little bit spicy. We got the seeds and everything in there. There we go. Okay, as that's cooking, we're gonna add some green onions in there. And then we're gonna make our broth. So we'll add a quart of water. And this is when we're gonna start developing those deep, rich flavors, okay? A really good broth with some lean top sirloin. Just one of those amazing pairings. Okay, we have a little bit of the reserved ramen seasoning packet here. We're gonna add that. And then once this comes to a boil, we'll add our noodles and cook our noodles. Our broth is boiling now, a nice simmer. Smells amazing. We have our ramen noodles here. These take around 3 to 5 minutes to cook, so we're just gonna drop them in here, break them up a little bit. They cook pretty quickly, so just loosen them up a little bit. We're gonna add some vegetables. This can be whatever you wanna do. We have some mushrooms that we're gonna add on here. We have some spinach that I love. Some snap peas. We have some carrots and some bamboo shoots. Okay, feel free to add whatever you like. This gives a nice ramen feel to it. We're gonna let those cook out just for a couple more minutes. Our vegetables are nice and cooked. Our beef is ready to go back in. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and mix this all together. And then we're ready to plate it up. Okay, we got some noodles getting in there. Let's give everybody some veggies. There's a lot of them in here. Very aromatic vegetables. All right, that looks great. We're gonna get a little bit of broth in there too. Okay, then we have a variety of different toppings over here. Okay, you can kind of choose whatever you want. I found some great bean sprouts. I like radish, so we're gonna add a few radishes in there to get a little bit of heat. We got a hard-boiled egg, of course. We have some pickled ginger. Get a little acidity in there. I love these little nori chips. And what I like to do is just kind of crush them up and let them flake all over the top. Adds a nice little texture element along with a lot of flavor. We have some toasted sesame seeds. And again, we're gonna add a little bit more spice in here, get a little bit more texture, a little bit more flavor in there. I have some basil and some cilantro. I'm gonna kind of stick to cilantro here. Garnish with that. And that looks delicious. Beautiful. This recipe is really great. You can vary it with whatever ingredients you would like. When you try this recipe, be sure and let us know in the comments below. Go to beefwithwhatsfordinner.com and we'll see you at the next one.